Top stories in this edition of the Winn TV News. Economist comments on the recent VAT removal announcement of the Prime Minister. Rooms limited for Carifta Games, and man escapes gunshots while on his way to work. A local economist is commenting on the recent decision by the Team Unity government to remove VAT from all food items, medicines, and funeral expenses. Tony Frederick Armstrong has more.
Economist Howard Richardson believes that the loss of revenue from the removal of VAT on food will be offset by an increase in spending.
It is said in a developing country, when food prices increase, is a mere inconvenience. In a developing country, food price increases, you have to rearrange your whole budget. So price elasticity of demand for food in developing countries like ours is very high. So if the price goes down, then the quantity demanded increases. Now, you have 3 taxes on food: the VAT, customs service charge, import duty. So by lowering or taking out the VAT, what you're going to see is an increase in quantity demanded of food. That would increase your imports. Your customs service charge is going to go up, and your import duty is going to go up.
Mr. Richardson, a former Director of Consumer Affairs, says he does not think it is necessary to put any other tax measure in place to make up for the loss of revenue.
I think we can leave it and see how it goes. Let it run its cycle in terms of filtering through the economy, and we could take a second look at what the intake is after the fact. But I wouldn't touch anything else in terms of other revenue sources. Let it follow its cycle through the economy, give it some time, and if there's a shortfall, then you can look at something else to deal with it. But I think the virtuous cycle of what's going to happen, as I explained, is going to significantly cover that shortfall you're going to get out of the removal of the VAT.
A man whose wife was shot and injured in January was himself shot at on Thursday morning, shortly after he arrived at work. More in this report.
Just after 8 a.m., Dwayne Martin of Bird Rock is said to have parked his vehicle at his workplace in the Paul Southwell industrial site when he was shot at. Assistant Commissioner of Police Ian Quealy told Winn FM later Thursday that Martin fled on foot and escaped injury. His assailant or assailants made a getaway via vehicle. ACP Quealy reports that no one was injured in the incident, but a car and service bus parked in the area were damaged by stray bullets. Investigations are underway. On January 15th, Martin's wife, Carla Hendrickson, was shot by unknown assailants while in her car in front of their residence. Martin is said to have driven her in the same vehicle to the hospital, where she was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The couple was arrested and charged last May for possession of cocaine and possession of cocaine with intent to supply, and possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition. They are currently on bail.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Winn FM.
Winn FM's mission is to contribute meaningfully to the information, awareness, and the development of our nation and the region through the building of educated and informed communities. Winn FM faces the issues squarely, without shying away from controversy, while striving continuously to provide balanced, responsible reporting.
Better music, better talk, better radio. 98.9 Winn FM.
Welcome back. Has the Commissioner of Police resigned? That is the question several have been asking in recent days. Tony Frederick Armstrong seeks answers in this report.
Commissioner of Police C.G. Walwyn has resigned effective Friday, March the 27th, according to reports reaching Winn FM. Questions about the Commissioner's status have been raised over the past few weeks when, by his own admission during an interview on Freedom Radio, he said he was uncertain whether or not he was still in charge of the force.
My Deputy Commissioner, who has not been returning my phone calls, I have contacted the Prime Minister and the Attorney General, and they have not been responding to my emails. So I don't know what's going on in St. Kitts. You had 2 homicides in St. Kitts since I've been gone, and none of the people that work for me or under me have notified me. I have written emails, and I've gotten no response up to this morning, and I've gotten no response. So I don't know if I'm in charge of the police force. I know the contract says I am, but based on the treatment that they're giving me, I don't believe I am.
Commissioner Walwyn had been openly criticised by the Unity Coalition when it was in opposition for purportedly being too close to then Prime Minister Dr. Denzil Douglas. His departure from the island the day after the new cabinet was sworn in raised eyebrows. Winn FM understands that he was asked to delay his leave for a few days in order to assist with the transition, but chose to leave when he did. Reports are that Commissioner Walwyn's contract was not renewed late last year, but that he was working on a month-to-month basis, something that he refuted during his March 9th interview on Freedom.
Finally, on the Winn TV News, the Carifta Games come to St. Kitts on the Easter weekend, April 3rd to 6th, but there seems to be limited rooms on the island to accommodate all the fans arriving here for the event, as we hear in this Andre Hewitt report.
At the recently held TDC Interschool Championships, Tourism Minister Lindsay Grant discussed the issue in an interview, expressing optimism that this will be sorted out in time for the Games.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and as Minister of Tourism, I'm in the mix with the Minister of Sports to find the hotel rooms that we need. But we're getting this slowly, and I think by the time Carifta rolls around, we'll be there. But it shows you that we really need more room stock. And so within the first 5 years, that's also going to be part of my challenge, to make sure that we get more hotel rooms into the pool in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Mr. Grant sees this situation as the possibilities of the benefits of sports tourism. PRO of the St. Kitts Amateur Athletics Association, Everest Huggins, in a recent interview on Winn FM's Voices program, alluded to the anticipation surrounding the Carifta Games from persons coming to St. Kitts.
We're hosting the Carifta Games in the next weekend. There's a lot of economical stimulus that we can benefit from the influx of tourists coming into our country and the influx of athletes and officials coming into the country, and the athletes and official tally is just about 1,000, right? And all the hotel rooms are booked with spectators and athletes.
A look again at the top stories as we close this edition of the Winn TV News. Rooms limited for Carifta Games, and man escapes gunshots while on his way to work. This has been the Winn TV News. I am Jamie Morris.